Well,
It's
once
too bad
again,
if Jared truly had a sideways opinion. I want to make sure that he was judging it by the standard of a children's movie, because that's what this was supposed to have
Right.
been.
This is absolutely Monty Python for children.
so this was a kids movie.
Oh, yes.
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 With that ending.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's going
Doesn't
on?
doesn't that make you like it even more now?
Well, I don't know. It's like I go back and forth in this film between thinking that are some great set pieces and very inventive ideas in here, and part of me just thinking that Terry Gilliam is so far up his own ass that he doesn't know what he's doing himself. And you can watch some of these sketches peter out, as they go, and so it's
definitely.
it's like he said the whole thing with Napoleon here stopped being funny halfway through, and
stop being funny a quarter of the way.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, when the guy gets shot, that's when it stops being funny.
So this weird, if it's a kid's movie, it's got this terrifyingly serious vein to it, but also it goes back to being silly again, like with Michael Palin and Shelley Duvall.
Oh my God, that's
painful.
But it's also very, very funny. Like
it is.
The thing on my nose,
Well, Shelley Duvall, I forgot who said this, but she said she weirdifies everything she touches.
Mm-hmm. You remember at the time this came out, she was probably riding as high as she ever was in her career.
Well, she
Shining,
and that TV show,
movies, Popeye.
No, that TV show she did.
Right, she did it was on PBS. It was
it was actually a really good show. But
Michael Palin co-wrote the script for this too.
Yeah, he did. But when they dropped into the Titanic, how long? It's the Titanic. There's no other possible ship that could possibly be.
But it's very funny because it looks like one of the yachts from like a Jeeves and Wooster episode.
A little bit.
When especially the later seasons when they go to America and they're like off the coast of Staten Island, and eventually it ends up that they get thrown overboard. They end up on a like castaway island with the giant beards and the spear and stuff like that. Like it does not look at all like the Titanic looked.
No. Like also, I appreciate the joke of them walking down the deck holding tennis rackets, because they don't. I know you can't play tennis on the Titanic, and you can't play tennis on a boat really because of the whole like moving around thing, right? So I knew that was a circular joke, and it was really good. It was quite good. But the only person I thought
it was a callback to an old Monty Python episode where it was Sam Peckinpah.
Oh, Sam Peckinpah Salad Days. Oh my God, I saw that.
Salad
Days. Anyone?
There's so many Monty Python references.
I know there are. It's all over the place.
Like subtle ones, non-subtle ones, meta ones. Like it's every step. Like, and you're right that it is in some way Gilliam being up his own ass, but it's being up his own ass in kind of the best shit he ever worked on. Like
it's sort of his own shtick. Has anyone seen his first movie,
Jabberwocky? I have that downstairs.
I almost picked Jabberwocky.
It's not bad. It sticks to the point.
It's not as meandering as this is.
No, but the thing about
Holy Grail, it really did come across as sort of like it's like a late Beatles album, it's late Python after they broke up.
Yeah, like Holy Grail, but Holy Grail also has both Terry's directing, so you can feel that push and pull between the two of them, and this is very much like, we just let Terry Gilliam go.
Yeah, this is like keep it on track. Python's keep it on track versus go wild and throw some stuff in, and this is him who's going wild, throw some stuff in, and I think it's a nice explored idea about the fairly decent premise, stealing a map from God and running amok with it. Although I do it, we're gonna have to do ground rules. We're gonna call these guys little people or what? Because
dwarves is the acceptable.
Dwarves acceptable because the whole thing about this, the whole dwarf centric cast is so British. I don't know what it is. There's kind of a strange music hall feel to it. You know what I mean?
Kenny Baker outside of the R2-D2 suit.
Yeah, exactly. And
God damn it.
He looks funny skinned.
That's almost the exact same shot. This was exactly.
So
And I
my
love Ian Holm.
This
I
scene
thought
is
did a
so
great
good.
job.
This
Yeah.
scene, the whole movie, you could just have the whole movie be
No,
this
no.
scene, and it's, oh my god.
Did you read who Cleese based it on?
Please do.
Yeah.
He
I'm
watched
guessing.
the Duke of Kent
I
at
know it.
like a race or something,
Uh-huh.
just like greeting all these people.
No, I've been watching The Crown and watching Robin Hood do his
Yeah.
thing. It was just had that perceived British manners thing. This is perfect.
When they all leave, he said, "Oh, they're awful people."
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Oh, your microphone's still on.
So,
But yeah.
Holy Grail, when my dad took me to see Holy Grail at the whatever that theater was it Sash Mill?
Yeah, Sash Mill.
Yeah, so that was a movie like honestly, like I was a different person coming out of it, and I was 10.
Right.
But I just like at that point I was like 100% in on anything Python. And I remember seeing Jabberwocky pretty early. And even when that came out, it was like 78, I think. Like I was able to, as a precocious or whatever 13-year-old, like I already knew who to pay attention to in that Python crew. And so when they started writing about this movie, I was really looking forward to it. And I saw it right when it came out. I was living in Colorado at the time, and luckily it showed in the 1 or 2 theaters we had in Durango. And yeah, there's some stuff that hasn't aged as well. You know, like I said, you know, you're right. The Ian Holm stuff goes on a little bit too long, but by and large, the level of inventiveness in this movie still kind of blows my mind. It's so clever and so creative, and what he does with forced perspective and over cranking the camera, like that entire scene where it turns out the boat that they're on is on someone else's head as they get
Oh
out.
my god!
No, that was wonderful. That was very.
You know, I haven't watched this movie in a while, and that had sort of like gone out of my mind.
Same here.
And when that scene happens again in this movie, I was gobsmacked. I was literally just like, oh fuck, this is why movies are awesome.
Right.
You know,
yeah, but leading up to it, the relationship between Katherine Hellman and the ogre with sciatica, again, it's goofy, but it totally worked for me. And this is probably the most sympathetic character Sean Connery has ever played in his entire career.
Oh, the film.
I feel bad for him when the little boy disappears and they're all just sort of staring at the.
I know. Same here. It's like, oh man, his buddy's gone.
You know, I'm sorry, fucking David Warner in this movie.
God damn it! God damn it!
So good in this movie.
Oh, everything David Warner does is fantastic. This is David. This is 25 out of 10 Warners.
Yes.
Like,
No, he's the thing is he's the biggest scenery chewer in the whole movie. He does not give a single straight line in this whole movie. He is he's shooting. Well, the thing is, I guess it's okay because he's the villain, but man, it's like let's kind of give watching him as facing a stiff headwind.
Yeah,
you know,
but also they went with like H.R. Giger for the head.
Oh, that was
we
did some cool makeup and prosthetic stuff with the head. But I'm going to Sean Connery a bit. This film was getting kind of a weird Monty Python-esque, like I said, kind of a sketchy adventure thing. Then when it hit Greece with Agamemnon and such, it throttled down and became relaxed and sunny.
The Minotaur head that's in Gladiator also.
Yeah, well, it looks like it. But anyway, the film's tone changed quite a bit in that sequence. I've never seen Connery more relaxed in a movie.
Well, it sort of reminded me of the mini movie that is in the beginning of Monty Python and the Meaning of Life.
Oh, the Crimson Permanent Insurance Company,
where it's like it's a whole different movie, except it does intersect with the movie.
Yeah, halfway through we revisit it. Yes.
Well, so and what's behind Scott too? That
and the Zardoz package. See.
Yeah. that blue that really blue sky from whatever film stock they were using, contrasted with the tan of the buildings because they were shooting it in Morocco. Yeah,
he was in tax shelter time. He was a tax.
I've actually been there to that location. It's the same one they used for Gladiator.
It's a trippy location,
but it's also very much Life of Brian. Like that's so Life of Brian looking. Like there's that.
It's a sense of presence. You're right. You're kind of in there. In fact, that's one of the great things about The Life of Brian is that it was some ways kind of a parody of modern the Middle East, but it looked really
Pair with
authentic.
Fight Club.
Yeah, and you know, also I love the bits in that film. I don't go too far on a different film, but how you see the Romans kind of pasting their stuff onto the stuff from Judea. They put their statues up and put the colonnades up, and it didn't work. But it didn't work in a good way, so it's good. But
Gilliam's attention to detail and the level of craft that he, like, I really noticed this the first time. Like you see it in Holy Grail, where it's like everybody looks like they've just been like bathing in poop.
Yeah, really.
And he carried that through a lot. Like I think Jabberwocky looked somehow even grubbier. But just all the production design, and I know that this is the same knock that Tim Burton gets, which is maybe he should write less movies and keep art directing them. But this movie is so interesting looking, and it probably didn't cost that much either. Like it's still handmade.
$5 million.
Yeah, in 1980 dollars.
Yeah,
and I think every dollar of it is on screen.
Yeah,
and there's still just, you know, you get to the end and they've got that great scene where they're hanging from the little prisons.
Oh,
and with that
single that scene out. That scene was brilliantly put together. It was like it's almost like the whole idea about how you write out of a scene. Okay, these guys are in a cage suspended over a void. How do you get out? And they did a really nice job of it.
Well choreographed. I always knew what was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then the cage falls when what's his name, Willie, I think, he's still attached to it.
I think it's Willie, yeah.
Yeah, and then the line goes slack, and then it cuts away, and it cuts back, and then he's climbing up the rope after it. It's like, he's back. You know,
yeah, exactly.
There's so many moments in this movie where it's like, oh, that guy's fucking dead.
Right.
He has died.
Right.
And because it's a children's movie, they don't do that. And then they ultimately do that when the guy gets crushed by the column.
Yeah.
And then God is like, well, that's no excuse not to keep working. Boom, and he's back to life. Like, it's
also portraying God as like a City of London banker with the waistcoat and the chain. That's the most British thing I've ever seen.
Well, God is British.
Yeah, but apparently so. Apparently that's the thesis of this film. God is not only
what's
British, but he's in banking
What's the
somehow.
Eddie Izzard joke about God? I can't remember it now.
Which one?
The one he's doing the voice, and he's like, oh, God, who is so and so, and it's right. It's just another one of those British character actors, you know.
Yeah,
it's like, because of course it is.
James Mason.
Oh, yes, James Mason. Yeah.
And the
God, who's James Mason for some reason.
The world's youngest Jim Broadbent shows up too.
I know, right? I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, you know that was going to pay off later on, and it did.
Well, I didn't know who he was when I saw this movie.
No one did, really. It was one of his first roles, I think.
Yeah.
But knowing in hindsight that this was meant to be a children's movie, yeah, like that ending is kind of fucked up. Like
it's really fucked up.
Like there's a lot of things in this movie seen through like a 10-year-old's eyes. It's kind of fucked up.
It is.
But I've got a book in the closet over here written by, I know it was written by Palin and Jones, I believe. It's called Dr. Fegg's Nasty Book of Knowledge.
Right.
And it's a parody of a children's book. And it's like a children's book that should never be read by anybody under the age of 12 because they think it's funny to fuck with little kids.
Right.
And that's part of their charm.
Yeah, that's true.
So this movie, you know, for me, some things haven't aged well, but the majority of it still holds. I hold this movie in very high regard.
Well, mind you, what happens to the kid at the end of the film is that his parents, of course, touch the evil black rock, the microwave, and get blown up. They're dead.
Well,
right?
They touch it after he specifically
said,
tells
"Don't
them
touch
not
it. Don't touch
to."
it. It's evil," and they do it anyway because they're dumb and they get killed. And also, the crane shot, unfortunately, is back cranked, so the smoke's going.
You notice the smoke goes down.
I know. But the thing
that's
is,
fucking cool. That's
it was probably
cool.
It was probably just they had to do it that way. You know what I mean? They shot the crane going up and they had to reverse it just to make it or vice versa. Who knows? But either way, so the kid.
I feel like that's intentional. I feel like that was 100% intentional. Like
they took the kid away and because of that the milieu, the whole American style suburb, they gave him to the Potter family and he ended up underneath the stairs, right? And they renamed him.
Sure.
So this is a prequel to
I have
Harry
no
Potter.
idea
right?
what the fuck you're talking about.
This is a prequel to Harry Potter.
Okay.
Oh, people, keep
I've
up.
literally, I've not seen one of those movies. I've never read one of those books.
It's as
Fuck
plausible
that,
as anything
fuck
else.
that turf and her bullshit forever.
Well, okay. Anyway, moving right along.
I mean, that scene behind you, Scott,
Yeah.
like, that's really, like, there's just, again, just a lot. I think about the first time the kid, you know, the knight in armor on the horse comes out of his closet.
Right.
Again, he does that sort of under cranking, they're over cranking the camera thing
Right.
to add weight to the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just all kinds of dumb little tricks that they learned in making those Python movies. I mean, you know how much forced perspective there is in Holy Grail.
Yeah, right. It's only a model. Shh.
It's only a model, exactly. it all, like, it served him really, really well here.
Oh, and that
Also,
reminds me.
also, it's the giant talking head from Power Rangers.
Yeah, actually, that's the giant talking head from god damn, the Venture Brothers. Near the end, you ever watch
Yeah.
that show? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing, this is an unreliable narrator story, and it's done in a very interesting way.
It's an unreliable narrator story that turns out that he was reliable the entire time.
But because the thing is, yeah, they keep showing these things like
Comes
when
back
they're going.
around.
When they're going in that big that kind of that maze at the end, dealing with the bad guy, you see these giant Lego blocks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the horse, everything,
and the knight and the tank and all of that.
Yeah, it's all queued out. Yeah,
and then he wakes up in the smoke in his house with the firefighters busting on the door, which they didn't need to do because there's no way that door was locked.
right.
But like all of that
firefighters like doing
happens.
that.
All that happens, and then they drag him outside, and he starts going through his bag and sees that all of the Polaroids are real.
That's
and
the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's an unreliable narrator that comes back around to he was telling the truth.
Yes, exactly.
Time.
That was the neatest trick of the film.
Yes, the first time I watched this, when he wakes up in the smoke, I had this very much. I don't know if you know the book Going After Cacciato. But I had this Going After Cacciato moment where it was like, oh, fuck, this whole thing is a lie, and you fucked with me for this entire time, and I hate it. And then he pulls the Polaroids out, and he starts looking at them, and it's like, fuck, it's not that. This actually happened. This kid did do all that stuff, and that's cool as hell. And it's like, especially for a children's movie, it's so cool that he actually did it. Like, it's not like the universe of this movie says this actually happened, and that's so awesome to me.
And God works in mysterious ways, apparently.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting. It turns all the little cues you thought would make it like, oh, he's just imagining this, into almost like a magician's trick. They're diversions.
There's a lot of magic in this movie.
Exactly.
There's a lot of like, and I'm talking about stage magic. There's a lot of stage magic in this movie, and that to me is what saves this film. Like this film is saved by the fact that it never, as a children's movie, talks down to the children who are watching it. You know, in a very like Pixar manner. It says that children experience things in a different way than adults do, and you have to accept that as real. And like, I think that's rad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Gilliam's made. I mean, I don't know. Brazil. I don't know what's his best movie. Is it Brazil or 12
Brazil?
Monkeys?
Probably. It's
Brazil. It's
Brazil.
Brazil.
The most fully
Probably
realized
Brazil.
film. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But,
specifically
I've
didn't
seen-
pick Brazil because it's too
fucking
good, and everyone would be like, "No, this movie's amazing," and we'd have nothing to talk about.
Why did I think he did 12
But
Monkeys?
He did 12 Monkeys.
Okay, that's actually
12
a close
Monkeys.
second. That was actually pretty
12
well done.
Monkeys. I
12
like
Monkeys is a really close second for me.
I
Yeah.
like this movie a lot more, and I actually really don't like 12 Monkeys, and I hope someday somebody picks that movie so I can express why I don't like it. But
I've seen all of them with the exception of the new one, the Don Quixote movie.
the Man of La Mancha, yeah.
And at worst, they're incomprehensible, but they look amazing. And at best, there's a lot going on that works really, really well. I think Zero Theorem was the last one I saw that I thought was pretty good. But
this is all pre-visualization for Brazil too. Like if you look,
Oh, you can definitely tell. He's actually kind of casting for it.
Well, I think that was that his
They
next? Was
wanted
that the
to have
movie he did right
Jonathan
after this?
That was his
Price,
next
yeah.
movie. Yes.
Yeah, Jim's
year.
Jim's correct. Jonathan Price was originally cast in this movie, and
Oh,
then
no,
he
really?
couldn't do it because he was off doing something else. And Gilliam cast him in Brazil, and after the torture scene, he's like, "That's what you get for saying no to being in Time Bandits."
Nice.
That's pretty good. Well, I guess we're at thumbs.
Yeah, I'm solid.
Right.
Solid.
I'm
Glad to
halfway
watch-
up.
I know there was
I could see the artistry of this thing, but I think that pacing and the you can see the kind of like you can see the tank full, you can see the tank empty, and so right in the middle, I'm kind of like the middle dial on a gas tank. You know, it's like it's weird.
It has
50% or
flaws.
It's too flawed for me to really give it an enthusiastic thumbs up.